What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Who are you Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
No. I only have one thing to say about this one, and it is because they were not ready in the third. They got outplayed in the third.
They absolutely did.
Right. It's not a bad loss, not a good loss, but it's not a bad loss either. Shorthanded, still played them well, but they left Hedman alone twice.
Yep.
Right, and that right there is why. And then we kind of realize why Husso's a backup, right? You got to make the shooter make the first move, and that's not what happened.
Yeah, those last two were on Husso.
Yeah. Joshua says, great prediction guy if you flip it. I was like, I got the score right, but not the team. Montreal coach should be fired. I don't know about that. That's poor expectations there. The high expectations is what killed that team. You had to go in thinking that they would have a bit of a hangover and also the possibility of reaching, and that's what I think that team did last season. And should they be at the bottom of the league? No, but they shouldn't. They're not a playoff team either. They've got too many major problems there. The Blues, for the most part, they didn't play bad. Jose kind of said it. Next goal, we kind of missed it. So with John Wayne, not sure what that one is, Josh. But oh man, I just lost my train of thought again. They played well until the third, when they let Hedman go. The defense finally fell apart. You just got to look at this game and go, okay, shorthanded, played them even up until late in the third. 6 on 5 or 6 on 4, 6 on 5 for as long as they did, not to give up a goal. Okay, I'll take that as a positive. Right? We haven't scored a goal 6 on 5 yet. Last season we couldn't miss one. This season, we're
struggling
a little there. I'm not sure what I'm missing something here in the comments.
Joshua Ian is a huge John Wayne fan, so he was saying that John Wayne would have stopped that one, like Chris Shockley had said that Kyle would have stopped it.
Okay. Okay, now I get it. No, you got to, first of all, you can't leave the guy. That was on Scandella. I mean, just both the goals were on Scandella.
Yeah, well, I say Scandella for a long time, and people argue that he plays well, and I say no. So they're on Husso. Husso, at the end of the day, should have stopped it.
Yeah.
He had at least that third goal.
Yeah,
he had full sight of it. Full sight of it. There's no reason he didn't stop that.
He could have had. He was not over. He was not positioned.
No.
Right. He left that whole left side of the net open. So
and I would even argue that the fourth goal, like I said, it's on him too. He should have stopped that.
know what? I never got that, Joshua, until just now. The rooster, and now I get what it was. Okay.
Hey, Josh, I remember.
Right? No, I didn't remember what Rooster Cogburn was from. It was from oh man, it was the movie he did with think of it here in a second. It's one of the like 4 movies he died in. And it was with the guy that played Richie Cunningham on Happy Days. Oscar-winning director of Beautiful Mind, Ron Howard. There we go. Ron Howard. There we go. I finally figured it out. I knew it would come to me. So it was from that one. You know what my favorite John Wayne
True
movie
Grit?
is? And it's say again.
True Grit sequel is
No, actually, no. True Grit was not one of my favorites.
No, I'm saying that's where Rooster came from. Was True Grit.
Was it True Grit?
And then it had a sequel, Rooster Cogburn.
Oh, okay. Right. I remember the one where he was the fighter at the end, and that was the one with Ron Howard. You know, where they tell him he's got cancer, and he say, "I'm strong as an ox," and the doctor says, "Well, even oxes die," or something like that. My favorite John Wayne movie, Cowboys, and this is also a movie he dies in. Right? But that one was real. It doesn't get the credit for as good as it was. Ooh, well, hey, but on this one, Lance, I sent you an invite, bud, but I'll argue with you on this one. This one was on Huso. Mm-hmm. Okay? That third goal, when it was 2-2, you look at it, you can see there's so much of that net, and it goes right by his glove. He's not in position to make that save.
I agree. The last 2 goals are on Huso. I mean, yes, Scandella can also be blamed, but his positioning was off and he should have had it. I'm not saying that it's all Huso's fault, but...
Yeah, but when he goes down when it's 1-on-1, yeah, I mean, I put a lot on the goalie there. You know, it's manu-y-manu. Mm-hmm. Right, and you look at shootouts, right? A lot of times the goalie wins the shootout, right? I mean, their save percentage is much higher. It's not in the 30s; it's in the 60s and 70s in that shootout. So mano-y-mano, and then look at penalty shots.
Yeah,
right. A penalty shot is almost. I give the advantage to the goalie almost.
Yep.
Right? He's got a small area to protect. And if he can make, all he's got to do is follow the shooter. If he can make the shooter make a move, then he's got him. It's making the shooter make a move. Yeah, Huso misplayed the puck from behind her net. I seen that. Nope, not on Huso. Are the guys who missed that or hit the post with their shots to blame? Of course they aren't, just as Huso is.
I'm not saying the game is on Huso. I'm saying the last 2 goals are on Huso. Yes, our offense could have scored. We could have capitalized on all of our power plays. We didn't. Yes. We could have missed hitting the post and actually made it in the net.
Power play.
Yeah, but I mean, we could have made our last one. We could have scored on the 6-on-5. It's everybody's fault. It's a team sport, but the last 2 goals were on Huso.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. There were stops. I don't want to say he blew it at the end, but there were stops he should have made. And actually, no, I don't believe that either. We go to OT with Benny, and I don't think so. This is a good team that got out there and outplayed the Blues when they needed to outplay the Blues.
No, I think that
we never held the lead.
Yeah,
we're behind the whole way. Right?
I think that we would have had a better chance with Benny, but I mean, no, we would have probably still lost.
Because I can't sit there and say that Huso played bad.
No, he didn't. Up until, I would say the last little bit of the game. Even the second goal, the first and second goal weren't on him. No. We tied it 2-2. After that, he got a little shaky.
Okay, and that's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair point. As a goalie, I'm telling you, there's plenty of mistakes made by others, and at the same time, the Lightning played better. Okay, I'll give you that, but one-on-one, Lance, is on the goalie, right? One-on-one is on the goalie. And he went down well before Edmund. And that's a good
I agree.
point too, right?
I agree. If the defense would have stood tall, he wouldn't have been in the situation to be in the wrong position. It's on the entire team. But Husso should have stopped the last 2 goals. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's his fault.
And I do agree with you. And usually I agree with Lance. I'm on Lance 100%. But this time, I'm not blaming Husso for the loss.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he let in 2 goals he shouldn't.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But, I mean, there were so many opportunities we should have capitalized on offensively, and we didn't. So it can be on the offense. It can be on the defensive breakdowns, which we saw Scandella break down twice.
Yes.
I mean, it's a team loss. Tampa Bay came out and wanted it more.
Yeah, no, and you take those games for what they are. Mm-hmm. I didn't think today was it wasn't a good loss, but it wasn't a bad loss.
For me, it was an expected loss. The entire time have been saying I thought we were going to lose this one. We weren't going to get lucky twice in a row. Do I think we're going to lose the first game against Florida? No, but this one we needed. We needed this loss to realize, okay, we got to play the full game. We have to capitalize. We have to make sure we're not making stupid moves in our, defensive end, stupid turnovers, taking stupid penalties.
No, the third goal, and Chris says it, third goal was a clear shot, no traffic from the line.
Yep.
That was, I'm sorry, Husso was out of position, right? If we went toe-to-toe against Tampa in a series, I could see it going 7 games. I could see it going 6.
I could see it going all 7.
Right, but we did play them even up, and I'm there. I don't feel like arguing. Well, Lance, it's not arguing. We have our opinion. You know what? I have a new slogan for this show, and it is your opinions are just as important as ours, and that's why this show is about the fan, right? We're not arguing. We're just telling you that we see things a little differently, and I get how you see them. I get that. But at the same time, first of all, Vasilevsky is an all-world goalie. The fact that we scored 2 on him, right, I'm happy with that.
I am
and
too.
We scored 2 power play goals on him. We were 2 for 3 on the power play. That's something there.
Yeah, that's showing why we were the number 2 in the league.
We gave up 1 power play goal, and I think they were on the power play 3 times.
Hold on, I'm going to pull up the stats. If my phone will work.
We were 2 for 4 on the power play. They were 1 for 3 on the power play. Right? So I would have liked, 2 for 4, 50%, that's better than what we're at. 1 for 3, 33, 66% save. I wish would have been a little bit better. But for the most part, not that. I mean, the biggest thing here, and you want to know where this game was won and lost? In the stats, it's right there. It's blocks. 22-9. Giveaways. And I'm starting to not like this giveaway stat because there's no way the Lightning didn't have a giveaway in that game.
Exactly.
Right? There's none. Sometimes I think these stat guys are hometown guys. There's no way none of those guys. I saw giveaways. Right? And I saw takeaways that didn't get listed. So maybe I don't understand what a giveaway is, but
I agree with Lance here. I mean, Scandella was at fault for both of them. The defense didn't stand tall, gave Husso the opportunity to either stand tall or make a mistake, and he made the mistake. It's not on Husso. Those are goals that he would probably wish he had stopped.
Oh no, I agree. And Lance, we're not completely against you. Hey, Tom, welcome. Good to have you back. I thought I did something and made you mad at me, man. You haven't been around. I was like, oh, man, what did I do to Tom? He doesn't like me anymore. So glad to have you back, bud.
Yes, I blame him. I blame him if he can't stop a shot he sees the entire way.
San Jose versus the Islanders going to OT. Scores 1-1. If those goals are scored on Bennington, do you blame him? Yes. Yes. And if anything, I've been harder on Bennington than I've been on anybody else. Right? In fact, I've been so hard on him.
And I agree with this wholeheartedly, Lance. Wholeheartedly. Yes. I am, team sit Scandella. Like, I don't understand why he's still playing as many minutes as he is. I really don't.
Well, it's the fact that Berube doesn't trust young guys. So he doesn't trust Wallman. Wallman made a couple of mistakes. And when a young guy makes mistakes against Berube, he hits him. So instead of Wallman getting more time out there, he sat. And he went to 5 defensemen with Bortuzzo playing as a forward. Right?
And Steven, I get that, but it's both. Like, if the defense fails and the goalie fails, it's both of them, really.
Yeah, no. Okay, so let's look at the fourth goal, right? I want to look at the fourth goal. I want to break that down a little bit. And I don't remember every player, and I don't have the goal in front of me. But you have a 50-50 puck, and I'm pretty sure that is Barbashev that pushed that puck out. Well, he pushed that puck out right in front. Where do you never pass a puck?
Right in front of your goalie.
Right in front of your goalie. Never pass the puck out there. Okay, Tom, that's good. We still got to get together, man. I got to see if we can get something worked out. So you can help me out with the financial side of this mess that I'm trying to do. And I got to write more for you, buddy. I got to get some articles out for you. But let's go back to that. So I think it was Barbashev that pushed that goal out and the puck out, and it went right out in front of the net. Well, Hedman steals it as it goes right by Scandella. Scandella's not blocking Hedman like he needs to. He is pinched too far in on that 50-50 puck. Well, okay, at this point, Scandella's made a mistake. I get that. But now it's mano-a-mano. It's one-on-one. And it's up to the goalie to stop that puck.
And I agree.
Okay. Hedman is a amazing defenseman. He won he's a former Norris Division winner. I think he won the Hart or came real close to winning the Hart. As a defenseman. He's that good of a guy. So if you have somebody that's that good of a guy, he's got a better than 50-50 chance of scoring. I get that. But mano-a-mano, that is on the goalie to stop.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Okay? Plain and simple. Duso went down way too early and left that area between the arm and the leg. Hedman's Hedman's a guy that's going to lift that puck right through there. Right? And Steve, you're right. Give it to Hedman for making 2 great shots. However, if Duso doesn't go down and continues to stay up, I would have rather him give up a 5-hole goal than the one he went. I will almost never fault the goalie for a 5-hole goal, right? Because that's on the shooter. That's the hardest spot to score a goal. The shooter's got to time it perfectly for a 5-hole goal. And Lance, you're a former goalie. I think you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. But it takes a lot to score a 5-hole goal. You got to have your timing. You got to have a solid shot. I almost never fault the goalie for a 5-hole unless he goes down and lifts that up. Lifts the leg up. Exposing it. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rate this Blues team with the players we're currently missing? I'll have to think about that for a second. let me finish where I'm at. He's got to stop that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so plain and simple. Now let's go back to the third goal. Something that happened. Well, hold on.
This period here with these guys out, plus Verlon's injury, this is going to be a really big challenge for you guys right now.
Oh yeah. It's going to be a real good test for us. But we've said it before too. We are deep. When you look at the guys coming to the lineup that are, Brownie and Dak, and our depth on our D core. We got a lot of good hockey players, and we showed it tonight at times when, we did some really good things, took care of each other, took care of the puck, and competed hard. And when we do that, we'll give her a chance. Give ourselves a chance to win against anyone.
Brian, I know it is what it is. The roster. But 4 straight games playing 11 forward. You played 23 minutes the other night. Just what kind of toll do you think this is taking on you 11 up front?
Well, I don't think anyone's going to complain about ice time. I think it's we all want to be on the ice. And 11 forwards, it is what it is. You just have to be smart with it. I think when we have those guys, it's not extending. Know that you're going to get back out there soon, and being smart with it. But again, I think. For forwards, you like it. It is obviously tough, the different line combinations at times, but still, it's you're getting on the ice, you're staying engaged more, and I know guys won't mind it at all.
Let's do 2 more, guys.
Brian, it seemed like even with everything, the game's there for the taking in the third period. Then with just a couple hiccups on those last 2 goals.
Yeah. I thought the start of that third, you could tell we just kind of had the ice tilted a bit. We were skating. We were starting to take it over, and big PP goal tie it. And then, again, one little mistake. It's frustrating because, it's you want to do the right thing, and then you turn it over, and then we get hemmed in, and next thing it's in the back of the net. So it's disappointing. I'm a little pissed at myself. I have much better than that. Especially as a leader, I gotta take the safe route and do the right thing at the right times. And it was disappointing because we could have given ourselves a better chance to get 2 points. So
more as we continue on this.
This is one of those times I'm okay with him saying "I" there.
Yeah, because he was the one that turned it over. So I mean, I'm actually really happy he admitted that, and he used the word "pissed" at himself. He had every right to be pissed.
No. And I didn't think he played a bad game. He
didn't play a bad game. Everyone makes mistakes. Like, even Husso's 2 mistakes there. Like I've been saying, he should have stopped them. But, yes, the defense failed.
Oh, hold on. Yes, the goalie made mistakes, but the defense made more. The goalie is their last line of defense. And it's one-on-one. Have to stop that. You have to stop that. The one that I will not fault the defense for at all is that third goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that third goal was not on the defense. They lost the face-off. The goalie's got when they lose the face-off, the goalie has to move to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's got to get there because that's where a sharp shot is coming from. It's going left because everybody's to the right. It has to go there. Right? I get what you're saying, but in this case, those 2 goals are more on Husso than they are on the defense.
They're on both of them.
Let me rephrase this. I'm not saying Husso lost the game. I'm just saying that those 2 goals were on him. The Blues had chances to score and didn't. The Blues had cycles that they didn't keep moving, that they lost. The Blues didn't control the neutral zone. Tampa Bay owned the neutral zone.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know where the game was lost, that's where the game was lost. The game was absolutely lost in the neutral zone.
And I'll agree.
They controlled it from the get-go. Right? That's where it was. Every time that we were coming up, I mean, you were coming into a wall of blue, right? So if you want to know where the game was lost, it was lost there. However, on the scoreboard, it was lost in the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm looking at. I hope that makes sense.
It does. It does. And I mean, if Bennington were the one to let those in, people would be riding him even harder.
Yep. Let me say a big thank you to Jose Figueres, Tessa Falk, Tanner Leanne, Chris Shockley, Jeff Horseman, and Brad Pond for showing us some fingered up love on Facebook. If you did it on YouTube, we greatly appreciate it. You know, you're why we do this show. You're the reason that we're here, talking for as long as we do and trying to sound intelligent, whether we do or not. We sure try. Quick to blame the goalie, either Bennington or, well, because at some point he's to blame, right? Now look, when Allen was here, I was a big Allen supporter. I was big on the defense there. Now it seems to flip. The majority of the fan base, when Allen was here, it was always Allen's fault. The defense was never to blame. So this has a lot to do with how I come about, right? It was always Allen's fault. Man, I got kicked out of so many groups just for sticking up for Allen, right? I talked to Amy Rivers about this that season, 18-19, about the, what I call the circle of distrust, and he kind of agreed with me on that, right? I've talked to other goaltending coaches that have told me that Allen was the better goalie, right? Absolutely. But for whatever reason, the fan base always blamed Allen. Well, now the fan base will never blame Bennington, right? Never blame Bennington. There is never, with very little exception, there's almost, in the bigger groups, in fact, in a group that I'm becoming very not happy with, all everything blues, there were people, I was going to leave the group because people were getting on Bennington. Bennington's the greatest. Bennington's the only one that brought us
Actually,
the cup.
no. Lately, everybody's been all about Husso. Oh, put in Husso. That's the one good thing about Bennington getting COVID, which I hope he recovers quickly. I don't want Bennington to be sick. I love Bennington. But these people will get to have a chance to see Husso in this starting role that they think that he is so ready for, and he's going to take Bennington's spot. So
I don't see it. He played good, but I don't see it. Now, that's starting to change. This season, it's starting to change. Last season, there was not one. Last season, in fact, Ashley tell you that Bennington was the best player in the playoffs.
At the 2 home games that I saw, he was the best player in our playoff season, yes.
And I have a hard time believing that. But that it is slightly shifting this. But his numbers, and here's the thing, his numbers are his average numbers. 920?
But Guy,
40.
like I've told you
50.
a million times, you can't judge a goaltender by his numbers. You have to look at the whole picture.
I get that. I do get that. But what I'm trying to say is, Bennington has not played bad this season. Right? Sitting there with his average numbers. He's right where his numbers were. Mm-hmm. Where his numbers have been since the run. The run was the anomaly. And this and I still don't think that there's how many people out there sit there and say Berube's the best coach because he's the only one that brought us the cup.
Not you.
Absolutely not me. But there's too many in the fan. We have, and I love our fan base, but we have one of the most fickle fan bases. Mm-hmm. Right? We have we gained so many bandwagon jumpers from the cup run.
Yeah.
Right? And the parade proved it. 1 million people. A third of the metro area showed up for that parade. Mm-hmm. We didn't sell out every game.
No, we didn't.
They didn't show up until the end. So a lot of them so there's a lot of these bandwagon jumpers, right?
Yes, there are. And yes, Jose, I agree 100%.
I don't know when it comes to the Cardinals. I don't think.
Yes, we have fickle Cardinals fans too.
I can't wait till the soccer team starts.
Me too.
But soccer is so hard to figure out, you know?
Ian, I agree, except Guy won't get off of that, and he's been taken off of his muzzle, which he was on for like ever. So I gotta let him do it. It's over. He can.
You muzzle me. So I get to be now.
Hey, I did unmuzzle you for one. So it's not like I didn't even say, hey, he doesn't deserve to be tearing apart. When he did deserve it, I let you do it.
Yeah, but I held. Everybody said that I wouldn't hold my ground, that I wouldn't make it through, and I.
Well,
did.
there were a couple of times you were teetering.
Teetering, maybe, but
teetering. You had to, get me to oh, Guy, back down.
That's a great point, Jose.
It is.
Right, as soon as we lose the game, everyone wants to fire the coach, fire the GM, trade all the stars. As soon as we win, the coaches are a genius. The GM is brilliant for making trades, and that's right. That is absolutely. Look, this is not a. It's not a total bad loss.
No, I mean, they played very well in the first two periods.
And they didn't play that bad in the third. There were just a couple of mistakes that ended up in the back of the net.
No. Yeah. They're seriously out there thinking Husso could take over Benny's role.
And you look at tonight. See, tonight didn't matter what Husso did. If he threw a shutout.
You got a Cardinals fan too, buddy.
I think you did both,
You did do both.
I think you absolutely did both there.
Yes,
Pareko.
He is not his normal self this season.
Yeah, something's not right with Pareko. I'm wondering if he tweaked his back.
I don't think he looks like he has an injury. I think that he just his timing's off. He keeps getting paired with somebody on the top line that should be on the third line. And I think that he's trying to overcompensate that skill level difference, and then he makes a mistake.
Oh, I mean, I get that.
Whenever he's with Krug or whenever he's with, Mikkola, Pareko looks fine.
Yeah, or Falk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him with Falk. I've seen him with Krug. I've seen him with Pareko. I've seen him, or not
Falk
Pareko.
a couple of times.
Mikkola, that's what I was looking for.
I'll tell you who's coming in to his own. Brunovich.
Oh, yeah.
I think Brunovich is making it really hard.
Yeah.
To send him down. Right?
It's not even on the radar. Like, the reason we're playing with 8 still is because they know that we'll lose Wallman in,
Or Mikkola if we send him down.
Yeah, but they don't want to put Brunovich down because he's playing so well. And yes.
No, I didn't see the rankings. I seen the Super 16 had us at 12th.
Mm-hmm.
I seen one by one of my buddies that had us at like 16 or 17, but he had Toronto at number 1, and I didn't agree with that at the quarter poll. I don't agree with Toronto. Now, of late, they've been really good.
I mean, that 8-3 spanking of the Avalanche yesterday was really good.
Yeah, Matthews 3 goals. Matthews is starting to find the back of the net, and if Matthew can keep finding the back of the net, that team's that team is going to be up there with Tampa and Florida as your contenders. My shock in there is Islanders, how they've fallen.
Yeah.
They've fallen farther than I would have thought. We got a game here on Saturday. Saturday morning, early game. You got to just be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be ready for it. Mikkola is making the best playing up. Oh yeah, Mikkola.
Oh yeah.
That's
I agree
why they're
100%.
That's why they're stuck right now. Because if they send Mikkola down, they know someone will get him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Pareko probably shouldn't be actually, not necessarily profession, but he might be in the wrong position.
Yeah. No, actually, I think he could be the wrong profession too. Because if that's the tool you got and you don't want to use the tool you got, got to use it. He's made a couple of slap shots, but they haven't really been on net.
No, they're to ricochet off the back of the board and come back out.
I've seen him put one. I've seen him put one on net. He put one.
I think I've seen him put like 2, but not in the same game, and they were several games apart.
Yeah, and it was one of them was a one-timer. Mm-hmm. Right, not a big slap shot, but a good one-timer. Mm-hmm. He's got to let that cannon go. You know, got to understand that these guys, all these guys out there, they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, and you've got to let it go because I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Arndt makes a trade to send Scandella somewhere once we get more of our But what do you get for him? I mean, first of all, Scandella's making 3.5, so you got to get somebody to take his 3.5, and that's the issue with trades right now. Nobody has anything to trade. The only way you're trading is money for money, right? It's got to because everybody's up against the cap.
Unless you're going for a team that really, really defensively needs help, and I can't really think of anyone that comes to mind. I mean,
I'll tell you a trade I'd be willing to make, but I don't think that team would unless they really have decided it's time to move on. Keller. I would do a deal for Scandella for Keller. I don't know what Keller makes, but I would do a package that would even up the money or draft it or something like that. If Arizona has just decided that, because Keller was part of that draft that
you see, but I don't know. I don't know if we need another forward.
But yeah, I just you're not going to get a defenseman of better value. So
well, I'm not saying that we necessarily have to have a defenseman. Our team is pretty well depth wise. We kind of just need a team that would take Scandella and his salary and give us picks. We don't need a replacement for him. We just need him to go because we've got a Mikula, we've got a Perunovic, we've got a Wallman, all waiting in the wings.
Okay, and that's fair.
But I mean, if we could get Arizona to take him and his salary and give us like a second round pick, I'd be happy with it.
I don't know if you might get a third.
No, I think you can get a second.
Joshua, you know what it comes down to? It's almost a Rick Ankiel situation. Mm-hmm. Right? I think this is more of a Rick Ankiel situation. I almost think it's the Yips. Right? I think it's more the Yips and them being afraid of shooting it. I just think that oh man, what's his name? From my favorite show, Ted Lasso, Danny, and I can't remember what his last name is. But in season 2, episode 1, Danny, and he sings his name too, and I can't remember what it is now. I can't remember his last name, but he kicks the puck, or not the puck, he kicks the soccer ball up into the corner. A dove takes off, and their mascot is a greyhound. And the ball hits the greyhound right in the head. And then Annie can't kick the ball in the net. Until he goes and talks to a psychiatrist.
Rojas?
Yeah, Danny Rojas. Yep, there you go.
My friend Google, because I still haven't seen Ted Lasso.
Huh?
I said my friend Google because I still haven't seen Ted Lasso.
Yeah. You can look up Danny Rojas penalty kick, and they'll show that scene. Well, isn't he scared of his slap shot because well, is it scared or is it just that he doesn't trust it?
I think he's afraid to hurt someone like he hurt Bishop. But then again, goaltenders know what they're signing up for.
Yeah. Ted Lasso is a great show. I love it. I think it comes down to one thing and one thing only. He doesn't trust his slap shot. And he's got to trust it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They've been complaining about him not shooting since he got here.
Yep.
I remember back in 16, them talking about him not shooting enough. Right? And Joshua, that's what I've heard too. But then again, if you're afraid, then you're not trusting it.
Yeah.
You have to trust it. If you trust it, you wouldn't be scared one way or the other.
I mean, Chara, he's not scared to hurt nobody. McKennis wasn't scared to hurt anybody. Freaking,
look at Chara did. He took a puck right off the mouth in the playoffs.
And played with a broken jaw. And he still fired the puck.
Yeah, and he still played.
Mm-hmm.
He played with his jaw wired shut, basically.
I know. He was pretty dang tough, right? I have to say. Yeah, Weber too. Shea Weber has a great slap shot. He's not afraid to unload it, when he's playing, because right now he's injured, but...
Yeah. Al McGinnis.
Mm-hmm.
Al McGinnis' slap shot put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right? Pronger's slap shot put him in the Hall of Fame. Right? So
I agree, Josh, but
that's just something that he has to get over.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's just something that he has to get over. That's something that the team, to be honest, he needs to see a sport, and I don't know if he is or isn't, but I think that him seeing a sports psychiatrist is not a bad thing.
I agree with that 100%.
Right? I think he needs to learn that hockey is life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if you're a Ted Lasso fan, you know what that references to. And that's Danny Rojas' saying is he comes out singing hockey is life, or soccer is life. Right? And that's what he does. He feeds off that. Well, that's what Parayko needs to realize, is that his slap shot is life, and he needs to feed off that and trust it. Plain and simple. To be honest, the team in a whole. So the question earlier was, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do I rank this team? I saw a 6. I saw a 7. I think I'm somewhere. Actually, I think I'm somewhere closer to an 8. I don't see this as being a bad team, even with the people we have out.
This is where the one of the rare times you put them ahead of me, because I would say 6.5.
Okay, first of all, I'm looking right now at something that we have that really. We have an abundance of defensemen that can play very, very well. At some point, they're going to get there, right? They're going to get it to where they're and Mikkola right now is firing the puck. Ballman did not play a bad game tonight.
No,
he made a couple of small mistakes that got punished for when he shouldn't have. But Mikkola, Wallman, Perunovic, Krug, Falk, Parayko. Parayko's not playing well. He can play well. Defensively, we are a lot stronger than what we're.
But
playing.
we have to rate with what we have. So Falk is out. Bennington is out.
Okay.
You're supposed to rank on what pieces we have right now with all the injuries and all the COVID, and that's where I say 6.5.
I still say at the lowest, the 7.5. I think that look at this game tonight. Look at this game up until the mistakes. They went toe to toe with the champ and stayed with them. They beat them in the last game after giving the champ the first round, first couple of rounds, and they stayed with them and got a decision. Right? Tonight, they got a TKO, but it was just it was the champ got a couple of lucky punches in there, made some puck luck, found some holes, and got some punches in that just did a little bit better. But for the most part, They went toe-to-toe with the champ and gave it right back. I'll take that. Right? Another Ted Lasso. This may be a sad moment, but we're not alone. You're not sad and alone. We got everybody here with us to do it, and we're going to get to that next step.
Yeah.
Because we felt this. I think right now, this team is going to get the points they need to get from Florida. Right? Florida got punched in the mouth the other day. Now, they came back.
And they came back tonight, too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they were down by 3 again, and they came back. Last I looked, it was 5-4, but I didn't check the ending.
Okay, wow. Another punch in the mouth.
But they were down by 3 goals again.
Huh?
They were down by 3 goals again today.
Okay,
and they came back.
I can't see a team coming back from 3. Well, I can now when I think about it. But the Blues can. It's winnable games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're not marketed. They're winnable games. And I think that the Blues can win these games.
Okay. The Sabres were up at one time 4-1. And the Panthers came back and beat them 7-4.
Okay, that's the Sabres.
Yes, but it was still another game that they were down by 3 goals.
4 goals.
But yeah.
I don't think O'Reilly is playing yet. Doing okay. I'd like to see him fire. He only had 1 shot tonight. I would really like to see him fire more pucks on net. I would like to see more shooting. And I'll tell you what, Tarasenko tonight needed to shoot the puck a little bit more.
Yes, he did.
He was looking for pass-offs, and Tampa was keeping the center crowded. I think if he would have started shooting, they would have opened that center up. Mm-hmm. His shot opens the center up, and that didn't happen tonight.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. I really was hoping to see more shots from Tarasenko. I was honestly hoping that this would be the game that Shen, came back to. I mean, he hasn't been playing poorly, but he hasn't really been capitalizing on any of his opportunities either.
Shen was non-existent tonight, and Tarasenko only had 1 shot on goal.
Mm-hmm.
1 shot on goal, 1 hit in 18 minutes of ice time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But I don't like Shen as a winger. I prefer Shen at center.
Yeah, but Shen had no shots on goal. He had 4 hits, 1 block.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The block shots is where something that we normally do really well, and we didn't do well tonight.
I mean, Bortuzzo got a couple in. Bortuzzo's actually really surprised me because as of late, he's stepped up. Most of the mistakes that we're making on defense that we used to attribute to Bortuzzo, they're not. It's Scandella.
Yeah, well, Bortuzzo had no blocks. He had 5 hits and 1 shot on goal.
I heard Panger talk about how he took 2 blocks tonight.
Well, they didn't credit him with any. Again, maybe hometown there.
Yeah.
But he didn't get credited with any. Scandella had 3 shots on goal, no blocks, 1 giveaway. I still don't, the giveaway thing I'm not completely sure about. Mikkola, 2 hits, 2 blocks, 1 shot on goal. I actually thought he had more than that.
I think he had a lot of attempts.
Minutes, but he got screwed on 1 of them.
Yeah, that last one that resulted in their 3rd goal shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah, I agree. That one shouldn't have been a penalty. Pareko was a -2, Mikkola a -2, Krug -1, Scandella -1, O'Reilly a -2, Sten a -2, Barbashev a -2, Kyrou, Brown, and Saad all -1s.
What was Booch again?
Booch was even up. He had a goal, 5 shots on goal, 1 hit, no blocks, 2 takeaways.
Okay.
He was 50% on his face-offs.
He doesn't take a whole lot of face-offs, but
he didn't do it. He didn't, like when O'Reilly got tossed. Thomas got tossed. He was in there. Who was the other one? Sundqvist had zeros across the board, but he had a better game than that.
Well, he also only played like a minute and a half in the 3rd period.
Oh, really?
He took a hit. I think it was in the 2nd, and I mean he didn't leave, but he wasn't playing as much.
Okay, that might have been a shortened event. because he had 9 minutes. Joshua had 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And Brown had 9 minutes, so that was a shortened bench.
Yeah.
Joshua only playing 5 minutes and having 3 hits with 1 block. There's a guy that needs more time.
Yeah, he does. I'm really impressed with Joshua. I really like his play.
I agree with you on. I agree with on that. Playing fourth line as a forward, but played D on the PK a couple of times. Yeah, Bortz went down and made them shoot wide. Yeah, Bortz did have a good game tonight. I was with that. Shin, Joshua, and Saad. I could see that line.
Yeah.
I still think this Spetsnell line needs to come together because the couple of times they put it out there, it's worked.
It's beautiful.
And you've heard Tereshchenko talk about how the Russians are getting better together.
Yeah, I really want to see your line there that you keep talking about. What's that one? Hold on, sorry.
No, and you're right. No,
yes.
The playing with the 11 forwards is what keeps that down.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately, but I don't feel like Chief has given Joshua a lot of opportunity. I mean, he's up, but he doesn't have any trust in him or faith in him because he's not putting him out there much.
Yeah, but you look at in 5 minutes, 3 shots, no, 3 block, or what was it? Three hits and a block. That's what you want him to do. So, that means that he did something on almost every shift.
Yeah. So his lack of time, I don't know if it's that Berube just doesn't want to give young people time or something, because I haven't seen a whole lot of mistakes out of Joshua since he's been up, but he hasn't had a lot of time.
Nope. Yeah, I thought both Joshua and Brown needs time.
Yeah.
Brown didn't get good time in Ottawa. He gets time here. He's going to prove he's the #1 draft pick.
I mean, his first game, he had that beautiful, goal, and I really was impressed with him tonight too.
I agree. Well, we're right at that hour mark. Did you have a good show, Ash?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, man.
Are you ready for tomorrow? We'll have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
I'm going to write tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to get an article out. I'm going to do it. You push me to get an article out. It's time. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, you definitely got to do it, because if you don't, who's going to do it?
Yeah. No, it's time. I think I need to let all the negativity go and sit down and write and not worry about who reads it. Write it for me. And
write
I
it
think
for
if
you.
I do that.
Write it for me.
Write it for Ashley. That's right. There's a couple of things that I can write about, and maybe I'll try and get 1 or 2 articles out.
Yeah, because I really like the idea you mentioned earlier today.
The e-bug.
The e-bug. I like where you were going with that Russian line idea that you just kind of brain farted on or had writer's block. So if you can unblock yourself and get that one out, that would be a good article.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Russian to victory. Okay, I got it now. Yep, let's see what I can do. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Had a great time. Saturday morning for me, 8 a.m., 7:30 show. Can't wait to do it. Going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days. Let's see what happens with the salary cap. Let's see what happens with COVID. Now, Bulk was tested morning and then got tested before the game, and that's when he popped positive, was before the game.
So it could still possibly be a false positive.
Could be a false positive. And that is a possibility. That's something they'll look at. Or the other thing is, if he's not showing symptoms, once he gets 2 negative, he doesn't have to wait the 10 days.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the good thing there. So we'll see. Well, Ashley, I think it was a great show. I think the shows are getting better. I think people are loving them. They're staying with us longer. And then we've always got this.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Such a
Love
cutie
that
pie.
smile, right?
I love it.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
He's kind of got that same smile, too.
She's got a little gap in her teeth. That's my little mini me, though.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
I love the
Nothing-
Morton boys.
Oh, nothing better than a Morton boy, right? And then there's always, this is a great way to end the show.
And the coach aligned with the GM. Then Blueberry will guide the team. And Petro will wax steam. This is the dawn.
And Petro will wax steam. Oh, I love that one. Okay, this is the dawning of the age of the Hawaii Blues fan, and Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha, mahalo, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Hockey Fan Report. We're bleeding blue. Aloha.